Hi, and welcome to Bloody Good Screen Movie Club with some different faces this time. We don't have the original team here this week, which could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. We'll find out, won't we? But this week we are, the guys are on holiday. We know this, so they'll be on next month's podcast, which we already know the films for. I'll go back onto them films later on. But if you ever found the website, you will know her work. So welcome to the podcast for the first time. It's Kiera Tomasino.
Hi, nice to be here. I'm very excited.
I'm surprised it's not. We didn't get on the book one first, but we'll work with that.
Well, hey, you know what? It's
fine. And of course, we're getting him on the podcast more and more often from the Final Guys podcast. It is Hunter Shea.
Hello. Very nice to be with you today.
I am so sad we couldn't get you on the coffee table because I listened to your episode of Final Guys.
Oh my god, I'm still steaming over that stupid movie.
I hated it. No, I had a good old 13-minute rant.
I think that was probably the best bonding moment he and I could have ever had. Was talking.
I know, and you missed out on that.
Piece of trash.
We didn't mind it. We thought we were going to film. I don't know.
You know what gets me though? I can see why people like the movie, like aspects of it, but it's just that's big no dog.
If you want to check out Hunter Reports, that one, go and watch Final Guys episode with that one on it. It's a good listen. None of you guys, I think only one of you guys liked it in the end, I think.
They all kind of like part of it. I'm just like, what's that? I question all my friendships. I think that's how I'm going to use meeting people. What'd you think of that coffee table movie?
Oh, come on. I can't get on a podcast without being shit. So.
Yeah, true.
But we had two very different movies this month. But before we get into that, so obviously, Kiera, you're a first-time guest. So what kind of horror films are you more into? I know obviously your book taste is more at extreme, but what about your film taste?
Film taste probably about the same. First more extreme that I watched was when I was probably 11. I watched Saw, and that just opened a new world for me. So the Saw franchise is a favorite for me. But then more recently, I really enjoyed Barbarian, Pearl, X. Horror's having a really great moment with movies, which is nice because I find they don't get made, or they get made, but they don't get made on big screen enough. And if they do, it's kind of repeats and trilogies. So it's nice that they're having a moment. Horror's having a moment in film right now.
Are you excited for Maxine?
Oh my god, beyond. I'm so excited for that.
That's the movie. That's literally the only thing I really want to see this year.
Yeah.
I could see one movie. That's it.
Absolutely.
Hate to say it, I've not seen either. I haven't seen the other two yet.
No. Oh my gosh.
And in your heart card.
Well, it's because I'm watching stuff like Coffee Table.
That's sad.
No, Mia Goth in horror is perfection. Absolutely perfection. So fucking good. Even Infinity Pool, really enjoyed Infinity Pool too, even though it was really fucking weird. But that one was good.
I love that movie. And when she starts, she's sitting on that car and just screaming at him. I'm like, oh my god, she's nuts.
Oh, amazing. But yeah, that kind of horror is what I enjoy.
I've got to ask it then. Your 3 bloody good screens. Go.
Okay, well, Saw, the first Saw. Evil Dead, but the new one, 2013.
Good one.
One. And then if I'm going all the way back, Return of the Living Dead would be my 3.
Great one.
Nice choice. There we go. I have to get a new guest to do that. But so, first things first. What we've been watching this month. I'm going to Hunter first. So what have you been watching this month?
Well, Roger Corman passed away. And I'm a huge Roger Corman fan. I never thought I'd be shocked that a 98-year-old man would die. But when he died, I thought, I was like, I thought he'd outlive me. There's no way he's going before me. So I picked up. I have a few Corman books, so I picked up How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood and Never Lost a Dime. And as I'm reading the book, I've got my Roku remote, and like he'll mention a movie, and I'll boop, find it, save it. So now I'm starting to go through the movies. I'm watching a little bit of everything from the 50s to the AIP stuff and the Poe stuff and the 60s and the 70s biker and exploitation. So I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. So we watched The Raven actually this morning. I forgot how funny that movie is. With Jack Nicholson, young Jack Nicholson, who you would never think could act or would have the career he had. Watch Machine Gun Kelly with Charles Bronson, his first starring role. He was playing the actual gangster Machine Gun Kelly. So like we're watching a lot of Corman stuff. And then I watched that stupid coffee table movie. And
classic.
The show on Hulu. I don't know if either of you saw this, Under the Bridge.
No, that's not.
It's not horror, but it's based on an actual murder of a teenager in Canada in the 90s. It's starring Riley Keough. And I think it's 8 episodes long, but it's all about what went on in that town with these girls they call Bic girls because they're disposable, like Bic lighters. So nobody gave a crap about them. And like you start out hating them, and then you get some empathy for them, and then you hate them. So you're going back and forth. Like it's a very complicated show, but it's excellent. So I'm like screaming on the rooftop about that show.
Cool. Sounds good. Cool. Good choice. Good views. Kiera, what have you been watching this month? And you got a child, so you can pick them films as well. Because I'm going to.
Honestly, I don't watch much TV or film. So these 2 movies are the only ones I've watched in the last little while. But oddly enough, I did feel like I need a reading break a couple weeks ago. And I got into this show Tires on Netflix, which is like a comedy about like an automotive place, which I started watching because I work in automotive. And it's actually really funny, but it's not horror at all. It's just like a funny kind of slapstick comedy. I enjoyed it.
I'll have to ask this then. Best books you've read so far this month? Or the last 3 months? Because obviously you've not been in this podcast, so you can pick whatever.
This month, I've only read 2 so far, and I didn't like them either. So this one's not so good. Ein Hollow by Tim McGregor is a standout for me this year. That might win like best read of the entire year. The Reformatory, that was a really, really good one. And let's see, best 3. It's another standout. Actually, Kitchen Confidential.
Good book, actually. Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a great book.
That one was that I really enjoyed this year so far as well.
What I took out of that book was his advice: if the bathroom is disgusting, the kitchen is way worse, run.
Yep.
It's just kitchen nightmares.
Solid advice, yeah.
Cool. I have a small child, so I haven't watched much of it. Got grown-up movies this month. It's been half term over here, so we got like a week holiday. So since kind of last record, all I've watched is Thelma the Unicorn on Netflix, which is based on quite a good little set of picture books. Yeah, so I know them from that. Garfield movie, which isn't actually that bad. I quite enjoyed it. And World Fallen Kingdom, because I haven't seen that yet, because I'm quite behind on all the Jurassic Park movies. But it was alright.
I'm sure it was like all the others. There's no difference in any of those movies.
It's dinosaurs. And 2 Chris Pratt movies this month, so there you go. Wow. It's all about the Pratt.
Isn't every Garfield movie called the Garfield movie?
Apart from number 2, the Tale of Two Kitties.
Oh my lord.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the films that we have watched this time round. Do you want to go for the good one or the shit one?
Gee, I don't know which one would be which.
I don't know. Let's go for Gun in the Trunk first, shall we?
Okay.
Yay, because that is a great movie. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a girl in the trunk. It's a film that you think is going to be like saying like Phone Booth or the piano. It's not because it's shit. Girl stuck in a trunk. Girl stuck in a trunk. Man kidnapped her. She's in a wedding dress because she is an entitled person. Kiera, what do you think of this movie?
Oh my god. It was fucking rough to get through. I wanted to quit so much, but I knew I was coming here to talk about it, so I had to sit through it. Unfortunately, no, it's okay.
You will learn with this podcast. Most of the films are hit.
The acting was horrifically bad, like so bad that I feel like she should probably get charged criminally for how bad it was.
My lord!
Oh my god! Yeah, that might honest to God, it might be one of the worst films I've ever watched. Yeah.
Ever watched? You got to go watch The Coffee Table tonight.
I have to. I think I do, just to compare the two based on what you're saying. But to be fair, I don't watch a whole lot of movies or films, so maybe, I have less exposure to bad movies. But this one
it was bad. Don't worry.
Stick around with Mark. You'll get exposure to more bad movies than you'll ever want to see.
Oh, yay.
And this is why the others definitely didn't want to do this episode. Well, how can you not like Snake in the Trunk, or even better, Scorpion on forehead?
And so realistic looking too.
Yeah. Got to love this. Anything that you liked in this one? Or?
No. No, honestly.
To the point, like
good answer.
Hunter, what do you think of this one?
Well, I mean, the title was so misleading. I mean, they got her in that trunk really fast. There was almost no buildup. And then she's in this trunk until, like, I don't know, 5 minutes left to go in this movie. I could deal with the trunk stuff. Oh, it was very bright in the trunk, so you can see things really well. And as someone who's been in a trunk, friends throwing you in trunks back in the day, this is the 80s, it's pretty damn dark. What took me out of anything, if I ever got hypnotized by this movie for a moment, the minute the dude would talk or anyone outside the trunk would talk, like the kidnapper sounded like Phil Hartman doing like Jack Handy or something, or hey, I'm Troy McClure. I hope you're enjoying your time in the trunk. And the father, his their voices were like cartoon. I felt like I was watching The Simpsons.
They were
or something.
awful.
It was.
Do not insult the Simpsons, sir.
Why does she not have an accent? Because her husband and her dad both have accents, and she's just like, what, from New York? Like, I was just very confused and taken aback by that.
She probably tried it, and the director's like, "Oh, stop, just talk the way you talk. It's fine." And there were just so many dumb decisions, and just it was so dumb. Like, if you're gonna make a movie about a girl in a trunk, just make some of the things going on maybe somewhat plausible, but like the actions of her father, like he commandeers a helicopter and to get her, and then leaves her in the trunk.
Yeah.
I
think it also it lacked substance in her story. Like, okay, you're interested by the fact that she's in a wedding dress, but then the fact that it plays into like, oh, I'm just like privileged white girl and I'm so sad about it. I'm like, how do you want me to care about this fucking movie?
I'm not gonna marry him just for you, Daddy.
Oh, everybody wasn't paying attention to me. Like, fuck. It was
pretty much
a struggle. Yeah.
And then they, like, if they up the stakes, like with the CGI scorpion or the CGI snake, like all of a sudden the snake is no longer really an issue. She doesn't even think about the snake anymore because it's found its own corner, the trunk.
Right. Also, when the car flips over, how is the snake still perfectly in the same place?
Yeah. And how come the bite? Like, are we not concerned about the bite? Like, she gets bit by that snake twice, and all of a sudden it's not venomous. Like, what?
I thought about that. Because the guy who kidnapped her was kind of playing head games, I think that was just like a regular non-venomous snake. He was just doing it to freak her out.
I'm pretty sure it was like a rattlesnake, no? Because it had a
rattlesnake. Wait, it was a rattlesnake. Yeah, so forget it.
They're in the desert. You tried to say this. They got to the desert part at that point, so that's when they veered off and kind of stopped. So he probably just cropped it up the ground and went, "There you go."
Picked up a rattlesnake and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, so why wasn't her arm turning like yellow and swelling?
That's what I mean. And she was so unconcerned. Like, that ends the movie. She gets into like a police car, and she's not once did she mention, "Hey, I've just been bitten by a rattlesnake.
I need anti-venom, please."
Just, oh, you're alive, are you? Like, okay,
and it's like,
chill the fuck out. She's just come back to save you, bitch. Fuck off.
And she's like, got her cowboy hat. I'm just a bad bitch. Take me to a hotel so I can take a shower.
Take me back to my hotel so I can do some OnlyFans in this house.
Another thing that really bothered me, which is funny because it all bothered me, but did you guys catch how the guy was shot in the side of the head over here, but somehow this part of his face was blown up?
Yeah. I thought that too. I was like, what is going on here?
I was like, wait, that's not right. Like, what is going on?
The fact that he was alive, I guess you could do anything because it was so implausible that he shot point blank in the head with not a pea shooter. That was a big ass friggin' pistol. An inch from his head.
He glocked him. He just glocked him in the head. Like, no, he can survive from that.
And I'm going to crash the car and maybe wander around the corn for a little while looking for Malachi.
Wait for her to get out.
Fine.
Yeah, this film is awful. It took me at least 4 hours. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Nyla's right. I have really bad picks of movies. It's been a really bad year. Okay.
I felt like I was back to where we began, Mark, watching crappy movies because you hit me up with a couple of good movies and you just totally sideswipe me again.
Yeah. I like to treat you every now and again. Don't say I never treat you.
No, I can't say that. You do every now and then, but not this time.
But is it any worse than that British one we watched where we spent pretty much the whole review slagging it off, basically?
Ooh, it's a tough one.
That was a bad film.
It's so bad.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, me too.
But no, a lot of it made no sense. And again, the boot was trunk. Sorry, English. It's too bright. That scorpion would have bit her way before that point, and that snake wouldn't have stayed in position.
But also, at this point, she had just released her hands, and she has a big ass wedding dress on, and there's a bug. Like, wouldn't you just grab the bottom of your wedding dress and just
oh no, it's more fun when you. Didn't she headbutt it or something?
Yeah,
I forget what she did.
Proper headbutt onto the top there.
Yeah, it just crawled on her foot all the way up her body to her head, and then headbutted it. Like, we could have not done literally any of that.
Meanwhile, if that could sting you, you're fine. I'm like, all right, that's just a creep out factor, but that's not going to do anything. It just hurts.
You could have done so much more of it, though. There's so much more things you could have done with that tube. Like, apart from, you wouldn't have seen his whole face out of that tube. It's too small.
Yeah, that's true.
Way too small.
If he just kept like a steady stream of bugs going through the tube, like hissing cockroaches and stuff like that, and fill the trunk up.
Yes. That's terrifying. Cool. Also, she got like a HD photo from her phone from that tube of that guy's face.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. Yeah. No. Apparently, it was Danish made. It was built in Denmark. So I don't know if it doesn't look subtitled.
No,
It doesn't look. It doesn't look subtitled unless that might be a bit of loss in translation. But
yeah, no, it didn't
I
look
don't know.
subtitled at all.
And
no, it just looked like shit from start to finish.
I want to.
Well, but that's why I'm just kind of wondering if the voices aren't matching because it is dubbed over.
Maybe.
But
maybe that's why the voices are so bad.
Yeah. Or just really, really, really shit.
What do American bad guys sound like in movies? Well, we have no examples. There are no American movies to look at, so let's just do
Radio voices.
So, do you like it in there?
So you know when they dub stuff on Netflix, yeah, you know how bad that is. Just do that. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap. Steve up the road can do it.
Cheap is key.
Well,
and like, who even was this guy in the end? Like the story, like, the story didn't even make sense to me. He went through all of this because he defaulted on a mortgage. Like, I'm just confused.
I didn't even care anymore.
Well, I don't know if it ended up being that way in the end. I think it was. I'm sure it was just because she was in a wedding dress. It interested him, so he kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Assumed that her dad had money. I don't know.
Fucking weird.
But either way, it was shit.
It's just out of all things you could have done. Like I watched it with my husband. I dragged him through the misery with me, and he was just like, "If you gave me $2,000, I could make you a better film." I'm like, "I believe it."
I think all it would take is 2,000.
Give me 50 quid. I'll do it. I'll do it better. It would just be me, Marcus, and Niall in the back of Marcus's car.
By the way, if you do more of these movie review shows and you drag your husband along, like I do my wife, see if he does this like self-preservation sleep mode. Like my wife, and I'll look over. I'm like, I don't know how this movie's going. I don't know how it's hitting her, and all of a sudden,
oh yeah,
she can turn it off in a second. She's done.
It's like not going to sleep.
Look, last time people complained so much, I made the others pick stuff. I made Marcus's partner. While she was out on a night out, I made him phone his partner, and she got to pick us live on it.
How's that one go?
We watched Fantasy Island on Netflix.
Oh,
which wasn't actually too bad.
No, it's terrible. Don't try.
Not as bad as this film, no.
No, not as bad as this. This is.
And we teamed that up with the coffee table.
No,
it wasn't. No, it wasn't coffee table this time around. What was it this time around?
The Killer Sofa?
No, it's Evil Dead.
It's actually a good movie. Oh,
Evil Dead Rise, actually, which is a very good film.
Evil Dead Rise is very good.
Wasn't as good as the 2013 one, but it was still good.
Evil Dead Rise gave me some like hair, like my I was getting the tinglies when she came out of the lake, and then they had the title card come down and the music. I was like, oh, that's perfect right there.
It's good, yeah. The peephole stuff.
I prefer the reboot.
You prefer the third movie, Army of Darkness?
No, the reboots.
Oh, okay. I like Rise better, but look, I don't. Anything you do with Evil Dead's good.
This is true. Can't go wrong.
The worst of it is really good. So it's a perfect concept.
Agreed.
So the concept on this bit, when I say next, it's I'll give you the choice: bin it or keep it. Because no. So, Kiera, would you like to keep it or bin it?
It's getting binned immediately.
Hunter, keep it or bin it.
I am going to wait for the Steelbook 4K Ultra to come out, and I'm going to give it to Tim Meyer, who I guarantee will find something good in this.
It'll be an Arrow. It'll be an Arrow exclusive. It'll be all over the place.
I will buy it for him as a joke, or maybe I give it to Jay. No, he'll like it. I'll give it to Jason Brandt. These are my Kiera. These are my final guys, peeps. Okay. Personally, I would bury it in the yard where I know the deer shit a lot.
So you'll incinerate, okay, Pedro? And I will also bin this one because it was really bad and a waste of several days of trying to watch it.
Wait, several days?
I kept starting
watching pieces.
I was watching it through work, and I was like, I'm wasting my lunch break on this. Why am I doing this to myself?
And then you had to keep going back to it.
That's even worse than just sitting through
Then
it.
I fell asleep as well, which doesn't help.
Oh, that's rough. That's worse than how we did it.
I hate podcasting sometimes. I really hate it.
I do too. Wonder why.
And there you go. There's a scorpion on your head. Right. Okay, cool. Before we get into the second film, I've got to do a shout out to our new second sponsor, Dungeons and Dragons. They are a D&D style podcast where it's all based on improv. So they have several guests on there who improv different characters, and they have a task to do. I am going to be on there in the next few months, so listen out for that one. It is rude. It is adult humor, stupidness. I'll also put a little clip at the end of the podcast so you get to hear what it is all about as well. So go and check them out. It's Dungeons and Dragons over on anywhere you can get your podcasts. Eddie and the guys, amazing set of blokes, and guys and girls, all amazing. So go and check them out over there. Cool. So our next film, which I thought was slightly better, is New Life, which I had no idea what it was going to be about. I didn't read anything up on this one, didn't watch any trailers, so I had no idea on this one. Spoilers, obviously, you know the podcast by now. You can spoil the hell out of this movie anyway. If you haven't seen this film, go and watch it first. You can see it streaming in the US, I think, now. You can see it streaming in the UK now, so go and check it out. Because it does have a bit of a weird twist about midway, which kind of makes a film that could be really bad into a film that's really good. So go and check it out before you go on, but we'll get into spoilers.
By the way, you just played your hand right there. Now we all know what you think. You didn't do that for the first one.
It was shit. I feel bad. Very excited. Do we watch the shit one first? So New Life is we have a young girl on the run who believes she has murdered her husband and is on the run and being chased by, I'm assuming, some government agency. So she's
MI6, MI8.
Yeah, some kind of secret agency run by a pharmaceutical. And it ends up that she's actually contracted a virus, which is an unknown virus, a little bit like rabies or SARS or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of midway, turns into a bit of a zombie movie. So didn't expect that one. Hunter, I'll go for you first this time. What do you think of this movie?
I'm like you. I try not to look at trailers or read anything if it's a movie that just came out of nowhere like this. So I saw the cover. I was like, oh, a space movie.
Yeah, same.
Like it's in the spacesuit. Mm-hmm. So that totally took the floor out from under me. I'm like, what the hell? When are we going to space? Like in my mind, I kept going, when do they get to the ship? What's going on?
When do we get to the spaceship factory?
And it had, what's her face, which I can't remember her name now, from Lost. Mm-hmm. She's the agent with Lou Gehrig's disease. I like that part of it a lot, of a person struggling against themselves and knowing that, yeah, you probably should retire, but once you retire, that's now saying, I'm now just going on that downward slope to my end. So you fight against that. I really like that aspect of her character, even knowing she was a killer. And by the way, I thought she was the young girl because they do the young girl part.
Yeah.
And then
right at the start,
do her, and I'm like, oh, is this her later in the future before she goes on the spaceship?
I definitely got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't really explain it really well. It kind of like went from her kind of running away to somebody in a house on their own, which you would have thought, okay, you're being put in, like, I don't know, witness protection or something.
Yeah, so
made a new life.
Yeah. So, and there was a similar look to them both. So I was like, oh, I really enjoyed this movie. Look, we all know, we just lived through COVID. We know things get out of labs and can affect you. And the fact that this was kind of like Ebola mixed with rabies, mixed with something else. And when you finally got to see what that does, I was like, oh my Lord. Like, because then you feel, it changes your feelings. about the movie, because you go from, oh my god, this girl's got to do whatever she can, this girl is the hero, to oh, I think she's got to go. So and I just like that it wasn't like this usual crazy action stuff, although it should have been, given the severity of the situation. But I like the way the whole thing was carried out, and I like the disease aspect of it. I thought it was really cool. I was shocked after Girl in the Trunk that this was any good.
They're not always bad choices.
No, they're not.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice slow burn. I like a slow burn virus film.
Yeah.
Going too far into it, like stuff like Train to Busan, amazing films. But a slow build kind of film, a little bit like the Dead from a few years back. That was quite a slow build zombie movie. Loved that. Not many people do, but I really enjoyed that one. But when you get kind of started off, I mean, she's
look at her. She's pretty. Looks good
there.
It had a very small budget. Like you could tell it had no budget whatsoever, and the way it was shot, it looked really good, and they just kept it contained enough to keep you.
It felt like a British film in a way. They're kind of like a British kind of thrillery kind of film, because we do everything very gritty over here and very slow. Because that's the British way.
Every Hammer movie.
It's like Ethan Lake style. So it kind of reminds me of that kind of slow build into kind of madness. But yeah, I mean, if you go to the other poster they were doing, because this went to Fright Fest in the UK, which I didn't know. I think that year, but that's kind of explains a bit more than Spacesuit. But
so yeah, I would not know what that is either. I would have a whole other option. These conjoined twins
together. Kiera, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I found myself thinking about Cold Storage by David Koepp. It kind of had a very similar vibe, and like what I really liked about that book was that it wasn't just a zombie apocalypse, or like, it was what would have been the beginning of one, right? And like how one starts, which I thought was an interesting perspective on like a virus outbreak to begin with. And then I found that, to be the same in this movie, which I really enjoyed. And I think it's an interesting concept to go where it starts, as opposed to like, just some family at home and they walk outside and there's like 40 million zombies, and then it's a fight to stay alive, which is, still good, but definitely nice to have a different perspective on the same idea. And like you were saying, we just went through a pandemic, so it hits a little closer to home, of that, like, you can try your best to contain something in this day and age, but like, how the hell do you do it? Which is terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
I think we got a glimpse into how we're ending.
Oh, 100%.
I think COVID gave us a definite, like, forget about nuclear war, asteroids. This is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because right after we watched the movie, my husband and I were talking, and I was like, it's terrifying, because if COVID was like even 50-50 morality rate, we'd have been fucked. Like that, it would have taken us all out. Absolutely taken us all out. So something like this, and like when you see the virus, like you said, like when you see what it does to the body, and like how they are in just so much pain and how horrific that was, terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And then I was like frustrated, because I'm like, so they're letting her think that she's trying to run away from a murder. Meanwhile, she's spreading one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my fucking life all over the place, and they're not moving fast enough. I was like getting so stressed.
Oh, by the way, we're going to take the one agent that has ALS, which really limits your mobility, to get her alone before she hits the Canadian border. She was coming right to
pretty much. I mean, you pretty much just turned around and said, "You're going to die anyway, so you might as well go and deal with this."
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, in that scene, I went, "Oh, damn, he's kind of right."
He's kind of right. However, maybe put 3,000 people on this. This is so big.
Maybe her and a friend who can run faster. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
At the very least.
That was the one thing I was like, this doesn't make sense, but I thought, budget.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, the way that they tied it in at the end too, like how they both kind of understood each other and felt alone in that moment. I appreciated that. So I could see kind of why they did it in the end, but I agreed. I was like, where is she chasing her with that cane? It's like a 20-year-old woman. I don't she's never going to catch her.
Well, luckily they tried to even the stakes a little bit.
Yes.
So the girls, in fact, they changed they flipped it on me because I thought the ending would be that the agent is so disillusioned with everything. She's like, I'm going out. I really don't care. And I feel bad for this girl and see ya, have fun. But no, she did what she had to do.
Well, I mean, when you see how horrible the virus is, it's like someone's got to fucking stop that,
Yeah.
Like, just got to do what you got to do. Like my husband asked at the end when she, delivered the final blow. He's like, could you do that? Could you kill someone? I'm like, well, considering what she has, yes. Like, if it's a matter of everyone's going to fucking die that horrible death, yeah, I'll pull the trigger.
Not even a second thought.
No. Sorry, like I'm sure you're a nice girl, but
here's a question: Would you do it if it was your kid? Not like a little kid. Say you have an adult child. Would you do it if you you don't even know who you're chasing till you see her and you're like, oh, that's my kid.
So I don't know what this says about me, but I've actually had this thought process many times. I think because I read a lot of apocalyptic horror. I am of what I have come to the conclusion is that if something like this happens, I'm killing myself. So I'm not going to be a part of the trying to survive. I'm just going to end it all. So if my son, God forbid, had that horrible disease, and I mean, in horrible pain, I would probably just do it, put him out of the misery, and then turn the gun on myself. And then that's the end. No more story.
I thought the exact same thing. All right, we're in lockstep. And then, like the mist, the Cure would come rumbling by, like, oh, damn it.
Damn.
Too quick on
Damn, Army.
I had a plan.
Don't let me kill myself now.
I always wondered. That's one of the questions I always wondered. Like, I love apocalyptic horror and I love zombie movies and books and all of that. But why is everybody so focused on surviving? For what? For why? Like, what are we trying to survive? Like, it's not enjoyable. There's no more, like, anything. Society's crumbled. You have to worry about everybody you meet. You got to run into zombies every day. Like, what are we trying to survive for?
I just want to say I'm the last. I win. I win! Now I can read all the books I want in my shelter. And I've broken my glasses. Like that Twilight stuff.
No, I just got to wear Fallout and just sit there listening to really old music, just wandering around on my own. Looting houses and shooting people in the head. Why not? This reminds me, it's a film came out years ago called Right at Your Door. This reminds me of this. So he's kind of
never saw that.
A guy trapped in his home, this virus, I believe, outside of his house. And he is told, stay there. You stay inside. And do not let anybody in your house, don't let anybody out your house. You stay within your bubble. And it ends up that he's the one who has the virus at the end. And that's why they're trying to keep him in. He's trying to get out, but they're trying to keep him in. Worth watch, actually. Kind of years ago. One of the first ones I was actually really reviewing. But definitely worth a watch. But it's very, very similar kind of feel. They're definitely worth it. But no, I really enjoyed this one. Really enjoyed it. I didn't know it was going. The first half kind of was a little bit bored until the twist. Yeah. Until you go, oh, that whole couple, they're fucked. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, her husband's got a disease. And stop stroking random dogs.
Lesson learned: don't be nice to strangers
or dogs.
Let them go.
You know, it's funny with the dog thing. I'm a big animal person. My husband not so much. And in that scene, when she calls over the dog, and he's like, "You should probably leave it alone," and she's like cuddling it. He's like, "That's you And that's me, and that's exactly what you would have done. And we didn't know where this movie was going. And then when we got to it, he's like, "You'd have fucking killed us all."
Yeah, you doomed the both of you.
The dog is very cute.
It was a cute dog, to be fair.
It was cute. Very nice.
No.
That's like I'm trying to stop. We're surrounded by deer where we live, and I'm like, stop petting the deer. Stop putting your hand in their mouths while you feed them. Like, there's chronic wasting disease out there. Let's not get it.
Deer rabies. You don't want deer rabies.
I would pet the deer. I wouldn't be able to not.
I mean,
coming up to me, I have to.
There's sometimes literally you walk out my door, there might be 20 just standing around, and because we feed them, they're like completely tame.
Oh, that's my dream.
But I'm like, all right, from a distance, let's all have a good time. I also don't want Lyme disease. I don't need your deer ticks. So my wife is like in bed. It's like, oh, here, feed them. Hand halfway down their throat. Oh, you like that? Hands are all slimy. I'm like, don't touch anything. Wash your hands.
That would be me too, 100%. Same thing. I even I've tried to feed raccoons with my hands because they're so cute. But I know that they're, but I'm like, but look at them. It's so sweet. It's got little hands.
Yeah, like little human hands. They're so weird.
Like little human rubbers. That's what I am. Look at the little ones. I just have baby pigeons. So that's all I have.
The reason that the whole world ends for sure. From me just touching wild animals.
Now we know. Patient zero.
It's all your fault.
Sorry.
Stay outside the Canadian border. No, definitely worth a watch. This one. One of the better ones we've watched on the podcast, which is a shame the guys missed it. Fuck them.
That's right.
You can stay with your coffee table.
You know what?
Cool.
The vibe. I like that movie we did, Down Deep, Dark, and what the hell is that movie?
Oh, dark, lovely, dark and deep.
Yes.
Which sounds like a really dodgy porno.
I know. It really does. But I kind of got like that same good feeling with this movie. Like, kudos to you, sir, for giving both of them to me, gifting me those, and to hell with you for some of the other stuff.
I gave the others the baby to watch, and they've never forgiven me since. So
that's not a bad movie.
I thought it was fine.
You should make them watch Baby Oopsie. Just stick on the baby theme.
Hey, that wasn't a bad one. We
like that movie because there's something wrong with us.
No, I never know how that ended.
Isn't there another?
Probably.
I think there is.
I don't know,
I can't stop at one Baby Oopsie.
I don't get much from them anymore.
Oh,
yeah. I get the odd bits from Full Moon every now and again. But, we did really well. We did interview as well, and I interviewed the lady as well. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. So, Hunter, keep it up in it.
This is a keeper for sure.
Cool. Kiera, keep it up in it.
Yeah, definitely keeper. I've already recommended it to people at my work, so definitely keep. Awesome.
I'll keep it as well. And you can get it on rental in the UK as well. And again, I'm assuming the US. You can find somewhere again.
By the way, if you want to have fun with people at work, because they're like, oh, you're really into horror, like, what's something I should watch? Just go, oh, Martyrs is good. A Serbian film.
I love a Serbian film.
A Serbian film. So, fun fact about me, kind of about fun, more morbid, but I have complex PTSD. So I have flashbacks of my trauma. I watched a Serbian film, and it is now in rotation with other flashbacks. So it literally
oh my lord.
It literally entered into my PTSD, and I was like, oh wow, fun, that's cool.
That's horrible. Holy cow.
I went into that blind, and that was a mistake. That was
never go into that one blind, Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
But
yeah,
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping the cut version, not the uncut version.
I think I watched the uncut version, to be honest.
I'm so sorry.
Don't revisit it just to find out if you did or not.
No, I pushed that down deep inside me, and I'm
good. All right, so stick with Martyrs. Tell everyone Martyrs, the original. It's a great one,
but not the remake.
The Greasy Strangler. Yeah,
I've never watched Martyrs. I have to go with that one.
Martyrs is good.
Well, when people ask me for books, and if I think that they're actually going to read it, I tell them Loom by Duncan Ralston, and then I wait.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is similar. And
okay.
It's a very good movie, but it's extreme. Yeah. And I had a moral crisis at the end of that movie. I had a discussion with my wife, and it was like questioning our morality depending on what we thought of the motivation. It's really incredible. But you show it to a normie and they will never talk to you again or ask you for a recommendation.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You're an asshole.
It's in the piles of movies where when I was house sharing with a friend of mine who was also a huge horror fan, we always tried to find stuff that was the most extreme to watch because it can't be that bad. Yeah, so obviously we did Martyrs and we sat there afterwards. I went, okay. And we sat there for about 10-15 minutes and just went, okay. Then we watched Human Centipede, which I thought was actually quite funny. It's a good film, Human Centipede. Human Centipede 2 was rough, but you know.
2 was far rougher, and 3 was a farce.
Especially the uncut version. Then we did a Serbian film because we were supposed to see it at Fright Fest. And they banned it the day before. It was supposed to air. So we got Buried with Ryan Reynolds, which is a very good film. Which is much better than Girl in the Trunk, and it's still in a dark hole.
Yeah.
So we went, we'll download Serbian film, you know, legal ways. The uncut. Just Jesus Christ, what have we just watched?
Yeah, I just sat. I remember sitting there looking at the screen and the credits, and like I don't think my husband and I spoke for 20 minutes after. Like we
the same.
I was nauseous. I was like, I think we just got traumatized at the same time together, and we'll convene later.
I think we watched a marathon of Bob's Burgers just to like wash it out of our systems. Like,
yeah.
We watched some kind of cartoon related thing.
You have to.
Bluey, just loads of Bluey. You're fine. Just watch a ton of Bluey. But then that gets me in tears after time anyway. But there you go. I don't know. Do you get Bluey in Canada?
Yeah, I really like Bluey. My son never got into it, which was upsetting because I was like, I want to watch Bluey. He's not into it.
Just watch it yourself. That's what we do.
For naps,
What we do.
Me and my father got my kids when they were young. Me and my father got them into SpongeBob because we were watching it. And then we went on vacation together, and my dad's like, make the kids watch this. I'm like, yeah, we should. And they wanted to sit and watch things with Grandpa, and then they were hooked. Yeah. We were so happy.
That's the next one. SpongeBob's the next one on our list. We just did Garfield. Did the Garfield movie, so she's into that now. I'm just getting her into Pokemon at the moment.
My son's just like Mario.
My thing.
I introduced him to the Nintendo Switch probably too early in his life, and it was the racing one, and now his whole life revolves around Mario and the different games and the movie and shows. It's a Mario.
All right, he'll hook into something else before you know it, but it's like they obsess. Yeah. It's great. I love it.
I've got a girl. It's My Little Pony, so you know.
Got the boy, and he just like hits me with dinosaurs.
My girls were Teletubbies. I had to endure the Teletubbies.
I'm from the UK. We made that shit.
You sure did, and the Wiggles.
No, that wasn't us. That's
Australian.
That's Australian. Don't blame us for that shit.
Yeah.
I would wake up in the morning and it would be the Wiggles, the first thing I would think for the first year of his life, because that's all he watched. All of the songs. Thank God he's over that.
Fruit salad. Like, you just find yourself still singing it for like 5 years later.
Yummy, yummy.
Oh, get on my head.
But yeah,
anyway, so yeah. Have I done keep it up in it on these ones? So yeah, Hunter keep it, Kiera keep it. I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'll keep it. There you go.
There we go.
Awesome. There you go. A successful podcast.
No disharmony.
No.
What happens when Niall's not here? It's all harmonious.
Niall's not here. Yeah, see. He's such a grumpy little cunt. So here you go. That was said with much love.
Sure.
So next podcast, which you're both invited back to, obviously, we have picked the films. Obviously, it was a Niall choice yet again, and it was split between me, Niall, and Taz this time. So Taz has picked for their pick, Day of the Beast. Never seen it. We'll give it a go. Niall has picked a YouTube movie called Kung Fury.
Oh my! That's a dinosaur in there.
There is a dinosaur in there, and what looks like 4. I don't know, 2 dinosaurs.
There's a lot of dinosaurs. There's like.
Is there someone riding the dinosaur?
I believe
with
so.
A gun?
Oh,
I think it's half an hour long. It's not too long.
Interesting one. Okay.
All right,
and then because
awesome.
obviously I want to pick, I've picked Black Phone.
Oh, so good.
There you go.
You're not going to wait for the sequel?
No, I haven't seen it yet. So
haven't seen it yet? Oh, no, it's good.
It's on Netflix in the UK, so it's not too bad. It's all right.
Good.
Yes, that's our 3 picks for next time round. Who's on this podcast? I don't know. We'll find out on the day. There you go. So, yeah, thank you for watching the podcast this week. Thank you for Kiera coming on for her first time. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the experience.
Absolutely.
And thank you to Hunter. Hunter, what are you pushing at the moment?
Crack cocaine. I'm pushing that, and anyone who wants.
I don't have a picture of that, unfortunately.
The only book I have out this year is Combustible. I have a book that just came out, but I ghost wrote it, so
I love that cover.
There
I don't have to do anything. Cover by Chad Lutzke, great author. If you've never read his stuff, Kiera, you'll love it. If you like, he's not extreme horror, but he's like I said, you're the king of broken people doing broken people things. So,
that's absolutely.
He is the man.
I will check it out. Absolutely.
And then I head on over to Hunter's website as well. And Combustible is only £8.65 in the UK. So there you go. So you have it all set up on here now. Every time we do an episode, even if you're not here, we'll still push Combustible for you. And also a huge shout out to our sponsor, Bondwell Book Club. They've been sponsoring us since the start, and they're a constant sponsor for Bloody Good Reads. They are the UK's best and biggest UK horror and thriller book box service, bringing the ones of a haunted bookshop straight to your door each month. You can either get the Bare Bones box, which is just 2 brand new books, or you can go for the Full Guts box, which is a brand new book, a possibly haunted second-hand book, and another indie title as well. You also get bookmarks, badges, sometimes bags, sometimes other bits and pieces. You also get UK snacks, UK drinks. It's my favorite thing for the whole month. It's how I get most of my books. They lurk in there recently. They've had, I'm trying to think what books I have in there. So there's some Eric the Rocker in there as well. Then great picks. Normally stuff from Titan, which in the US would be Tor. So amazing books. Go and check it out. Use the code BloodyGoodReads at checkout to get 10% off your first box as well. It is international. It is UK and international. So anybody can go grab hold of this one over there. So go and check it out. You can always catch me over on Bloody Good Reads on Twitter, Bloody Good Reads on Instagram, and Bloody Good Reads on Threads. And check out Bloody Good Reads podcast as well, which we have some amazing guests coming up. We have Nada Lima coming up with a brand new book, Craft, the Stories I Wrote for the Devil, which is amazing. Loving it at the moment. And I don't tend to stick with many books because I have something to read, but I'm really loving that one at the moment. She's our next guest on the podcast coming up. So yeah, check it out. See what we've got coming up on there, and come and look at some of our previous guests, like Hunter was on the podcast before. We've also had people like Sean Hudson. We've had Graham Masterson on there as well. So yeah, go and check out the podcast. Kiera, where can people find you if you'd like to be found?
Yes, you can find
in the car.
Me in the car.
On the road.
All socials. I'm that horror bish, BISH. Twitter, Instagram is where I tend to hang out the most. I'm also on TikTok. Not on Facebook, however. It's too many social medias, but basically find me anywhere that use social media.
Cool. And Hunter, where can people find you as always?
Here. Like right here. Or huntershea.com. There you go. And that gives you the links to everything else.
Cool. And go and check out the Final Guys podcast as well, because that is a brilliant podcast and a brilliant live show every Tuesday night.
I forgot about those schmucks. So yeah, we're We're on like episode 350 something this week. So
wow.
every Tuesday we're live. We take off about 2 Tuesdays a year if we're lucky. Jason doesn't let us take these off. He's so mean. But yeah, we'll be there Tuesday reviewing the new Humane by David Cronenberg's daughter. So looking forward to watching that today.
Brilliant. Cool. And yeah, catch me on all the socials, and yeah, catch us next month. I think the guys will be back on the podcast as well, and we'll talk some more, and Niall will be moaning about stuff like always.
I didn't like this.
Which is exactly how he does it. You know what he's like. He's a moany prick. And he ain't going to listen to this back, so it doesn't really matter.
Say whatever we want.
All right, so there's no toodles this time from Marcus. He is not here. So either goodbye from me, goodbye from Kiera, goodbye from Hunter, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
I've got a little task for you. Oh, for fuck's sake! What have I done? I can sweat myself into the kettle.
Thinks cheese is spicy.
I have printed out some pamphlets.
Joy to the world.
Please stop trying to kill Mother!
It's my wedding day.
Well, let me tell you something, Mother!
What is that?
Your chances of making it to 0 to none when you're dealing with budgeons and dragons.
My name is Hamburger. I have a gun.